is going on, guys and girls? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all doing really well and you've been enjoying the content so far. So we are into our second episode, I believe. So we are in our second episode of this channel, and I want to be talking about something that is really relevant right now that I think is really important. So I want to talk about Q2. Hopefully, how's everybody's Q1 been? In all areas of life, how's everybody's Q1 been? Q1's been interesting for me. It really has. There's been a lot of things changing right now. I'm sure you're all aware of what's happening with the virus and all these kind of things. There's a lot of things changing very quickly. And the reason why I want to talk about Q2 is we're literally coming into Q2. I think it's really important that we go into Q2 with a bit of perspective and utilize what have we learned in Q1. I'd love to know as well in the comments, what is the biggest thing that you've taken away from all of this kind of stuff that's happened? What's the biggest thing that you've taken away from the virus? And have you had a shift in perspective? Have you started to do things differently? I'd be really, really curious to know, as I know it's given a lot of people a wake-up call. So I wanted to go into a few little tips, a few things that I can help you, just to give you something simple. This is just more of a quick fire video, give you some simple steps that you can take away that's going to help you just get the most out of Q2. Doesn't matter what you're doing, whether you're a business, trader, it really doesn't matter. This is going to help you, something you can implement practically straight away. So I'm excited to get into it. But just a bit of a discussion on how everybody's feeling right now with things like the virus. I've seen a big change, I really have. I've seen a big shift into how people are thinking. You know, there's two types of people in this period of time. People that go into the fear-based mindset, people go into the abundance-based mindset. Now, I'm going to be talking about a lot of videos coming up in terms of where to invest your money. Now, I can't give financial advice legally and those kind of things, but just sharing with you guys and girls my perspective, my opinions on some tremendous deals out there that I think that is going to be of benefit. Things that I'm going to be doing myself. So in terms of property, there's a big shift coming in the property market, and anybody that is liquid is going to have some incredible opportunities. So I'm going to be talking about a few things like that, and there's various other areas as well. So I think you're going to really enjoy this channel. And when it comes to what's happening right now, I think it's woken a lot of people up, because what I want to do is, you can see I've got my goal setting book here. For those of you that don't know me, by the way, I have written a book on goal setting. So really, really proud of this book. I'm going to be doing some new launches soon. I haven't done one in a long period of time, and I know there's a huge demand on that. So for those of you that have messaged in multiple times through social media, various platforms, I will be doing a launch soon. I've just been doing a bit of an update to the book, but this has been a game changer for me. This is literally the formula I've been using for years and years. I've obviously refined and tweaked it through the process, but it's helped me out massively, immensely. So excited to share more on that. But essentially, all you need is a good old-fashioned journal, and just start writing, start mapping some things out, start planning your quarters. And I think it's really important that you take full control over that right now, because think about it right now. For most of you, and let me know in the comments if you've been affected through this period, what's the one thing that gave you a bit of a wake-up call? You've probably phoned in to work and you don't know whether you are going to be at work, so you're not making decisions. You've gone into a bit of fear-based mindset. Maybe you've tried to buy loads of things because you're not sure what's going to happen. I get it, it's happened. And I think it's shown us as an economy, as a whole, that we're vulnerable. If you think about it, we're quite vulnerable. We're over-leveraged on so many things, and we're wasteful. We're not as resourceful. But remember, and Tony Robbins has spoken about this in various quotes, it's not about your resources. It's about how resourceful are you with what you have. And I think that's a big thing that we can learn from people, is that when you can learn to be resourceful and wake up and realize, do you want to be in a situation, I mean, use this as an opportunity to think about it. Do you want to be in another situation where maybe something else happens and you're literally paycheck to paycheck? And then you don't know what else to do. You're in the hands of that situation. Or do you want to slowly but surely start to build something for yourself in multiple streams of income that is going to help you set yourself up for life, set yourself up for success? You know, that I think is going to wake a lot of people up to start making decisions based off of their long-term thinking. Because most people, they think they're thinking long-term, but they're not. So what I want to do is go through that. Also, by the way, guys and girls, make sure if you haven't, that you do subscribe to the channel. Turn on that notification bell so you're always in the loop for all the updates I'm going to be dropping. And what I'm going to be doing at the end of this video, so make sure that you do check it out. It'll be in the link in the description. I'm going to be creating a little tool guide for you that's going to help with your goal setting. So make sure that you do download that and you can start implementing these actions straight away and get started. So make sure that you do that after you've watched this video. But essentially, what I want this to be is maybe even a video that you come back to give yourself a bit of a boost. Something you can come back to say, right, I need to get back on track now. Do these things that Mark said, start to implement them, and even if we fall off track, it happens. Life happens to the most of us. But this is something you can always revisit, come back to, so make sure that you bookmark it, save it, so you can always take some value from it. But essentially, what I want you guys and girls to do, quite simply, is grab a journal. And the reason why you want to grab a journal is that you want to make sure that you're coming from a position of seeing your own handwriting. Now, I won't go too much into the science behind it in terms of why writing your goals down on paper will help you, but essentially you just have a little bit of faith that it's going to give you a much deeper connection to your handwriting. I think in some other videos I'll showcase some of my older journals of when I wasn't so financially well off in life, of what I was kind of writing and the language, and it'll be interesting for you guys and girls to find out. But essentially, grab a good old-fashioned journal. It doesn't have to be an expensive one. It can be just a simple one, W.H. Smith's, whatever it may be. Just pick up a journal and start writing. Just get a pen, pencil, whatever it may be. And what I want you to do is, the reason why I want you to write it out, just briefly, is that I want you to see these goals that you tick off and be able to visualize in the future you ticking them off. Because there is no better feeling than seeing your goals achieved, big or small, in your own handwriting. It will empower you more than anything else. So if you haven't done it already, you're going to be in for a treat. So what I want you to do is grab the journal, grab the pen, and from my book, I talk about 10 things to do, be, and have. Essentially, when we're thinking about goals, you got to think of it like this. When I was younger, I always used to think about, what do I want to have? And when we're in the superficial kind of state of mind, all we think about is ego. What's it? Is this going to look good? This is going to impress people. How's this going to, etc., etc. We start to just think about. We tend to think about materialistic things a lot, not realizing that is not the answer. There's another video that I'm going to create in the future is about when I sold my supercar and the reasons behind it. I think it's going to provide you guys and girls a lot of insight into that. That's going to help you, give you a bit of perspective. But essentially, what I want you to do is focus on these areas: do, be, and have. Rather than just thinking of things that you want to have, you can then look at other areas of life, because we tend to neglect those areas sometimes. We're so busy thinking about, the have, that we forget about the do. What things do you want to do? What things do you want to be? Something you might want to do is you might want to climb 3 mountains in the next 12 months. And then you, of course, break that down in manageable steps of how you're going to achieve that. And you put those timelines in place. Something that you want to be. You may want to be a better public speaker. You may want to be more confident in a public setting. There's so many things that you want to be. You may want to be more punctual. There's so many things that you can focus on in your life that is not just material. And what has personally transformed my life is acknowledging that and doing that and being able to see that, wow. Like, think of yourself like this. Think of yourself as just pieces of the puzzle that you can just improve. Imagine looking at yourself and thinking about the future vision. What does the vision of you look like? Because you're probably wondering, okay, Mark, so how do I actually get down to these things? How do I figure out what do I want to do, be, and have? Well, you have to firstly map out the vision of you. What do you see yourself like? What house do you want to be living in? What kind of family do you want to have? What kind of relationship do you want to have? Mapping out all of your life. How do you see that? What kind of income streams would you like to have? What do you want to be doing? What value do you want to be serving to the world? So you look at the overall picture of what is the future vision for you. So firstly, just brainstorm that. It doesn't have to come to you straight away. And believe me, with the things that you're going to be, when you do this exercise of 10 things that you want to do, be, and have, I can promise you this, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to happen straight away. And it's normal to be kind of sitting there for hours, sometimes days, and getting down to exactly the clarity when this is it. This is what I want to do, what I want to be, what I want to have for the next 6 to 12 months. And now it's go time. Because the level of inspiration that you'll have once you've got that clarity, it's exceptional. So what you're going to be doing is, Firstly, what I want you to do is, again, brainstorm that future vision. What does that look like for you? And let me know in the comments if that's something that you want to share. Totally understand if you don't, but I would love to know from you, what does that vision look like? What's the future vision? What is your ideal lifestyle in all areas? Let me know in the comments. I would love to know. And essentially, after you've got that, you feel good about that, you know, this is where I want to be, then what you're going to go into is your 10 things, and this is in my book, 10 things that you want to do, be, and have. And you're going to write those things out, and it may take you a while, like I said, but you're going to have 30 things there. 30 things. And essentially, we're going to start to narrow those down. As you start to write things down, you'll probably find, after you revisit, or maybe even in the moment, you'll realize as you write it, that's actually not as important as what I originally thought. You know, if you take things out of the equation as to, oh, well, let's say you've got a goal that you think that, oh, this is going to press that, oh, this will look good for social media. Imagine that's not there. Is the goal important to you? Let's go, forget about the superficial garbage. Let's go down to the real core of what internally makes you happy and makes you tick. Is that important to you? And you might start to cross things off. Good. That's really good. If you start to do that, you're on the right track. And essentially, give yourself a bit of time. So what you want to do is you narrow those down. So let's say you've got now your 10 things that you want to do, be, and have. You're now going to prioritize out of each one of those 3 things. So I want you to pick, what are the 3 most important things of, again, going back to the original thing, what's the future vision for you look like? What is the 3 most important things from do, 3 most important things for have, 3 most important things from be? So you've got 9 goals. Out of those 9 goals, which ones are the most priority? So you just prioritize, go down, and keep going down. And then what it does is it leaves you with the practical steps. So this is something you can do straight away, because I can promise you this, when you're looking at the bigger vision of yourself, and now you've got 9 goals, 3 from do, 3 from be, 3 from have, that is now congruent with that bigger vision of yourself, the motivation that you will feel will be insane. And what I want to do is I want to give you something, actually, just thinking about it now, as a nice little bonus that you can keep with you to keep yourself on track. Remember, I'm going to be putting this kind of worksheet in the description, so make sure that you do download that after the video and you get cracking straight away. But essentially, to keep yourself on track, because you're probably wondering, you know, Mark, how am I going to keep on track with this? Because I get it, sometimes people lose a little bit of motivation. Remember, motivation is temporary, but inspiration is permanent, because when you're constantly inspired by your goals deep inside, when you know this is the vision for me, then you're waking up every day fully inspired, because you got a plan of action. It's showtime. You can show up every day. But when you're lost and you've kind of got these wishy-washy goals where you think you want it but you don't, well, then of course you're not showing up. Of course you feel like you have to force yourself to do things, because you've not got deeper into the why of what is your vision of your future self going to look like. When you can start anchoring that, when you can start connecting those emotions to that, that's when some magical shit happens. So just make sure that you really take your time to figure that stuff out before you go into the 10 things. So make sure you do that. Now down to the daily tracker. So how are you going to keep on track, keep yourself accountable every single day? So I'm going to link this in the worksheet as well. So quite simply, all you're going to do is my 5-5-5 rule. So again, got this in the book. So you're going to do your 5 daily goals. So all I want you to do is tick off 5 daily goals that are congruent with those goals that you've prioritized. So the 3 from do, be, and have. So you've got 9 goals there. And this can be over the next 6 to 12 months. Let's keep it simple. So you're going to write down 5 daily goals, and you're going to tick them off each day. They don't have to be huge. They just have to be congruent with those goals. So you can look at the end of the day and go, yep, those 5 daily goals. I think my dog's trying to get out. So those are the 5 daily goals that are congruent with the overall bigger picture. That's all I need you to do. And then what I want you to do is 5 affirmations. So these affirmations, these also need to be congruent with the overall bigger picture of your goals as well. So make sure that your affirmations are congruent with that. I'll also leave a link as to some examples of affirmations that I personally use. I think that will help you out as well, kind of keep you going, keep you started. I know a lot of people, they're a little bit umming and erring with affirmations, but again, think about it. Remember, whether you believe in them or not, they're a self-fulfilling prophecy, because the science is, you can't hide from it. We either affirm good things to ourselves or bad things, and that's either internally or out loud. So whether you believe in it or not, it's there, it's the science. We have these thoughts. So why not start affirming some good stuff that's going to help you push towards your goals? So essentially, what have we got now? We have got the 5 daily goals, we've got the 5 affirmations. What is next? We have the 5 values. So you want to be writing down some values that are congruent with all of this. So let's say, for example, if you hold the value of persistence, then you write persistence down. If you write the goal of passion and that you hold that value of passion, then you write that down. So find your values, and you can type this on Google, list of values. Think about who you are as an individual. Remember, who do you stand for? Think about that. Who do you stand for? And then have those values, because when you're working in congruency of not only your core values and your affirmations, you're affirming some good stuff that's congruent with the bigger vision. Remember, right at the start, the bigger vision of yourself, and you've got those small, simple daily goals. And guess what? It's the insignificant thing of doing it. See, to some people, they can say, well, that's easy. It's just 5 small goals. I could do that. But why are you not doing that? Most people don't write down goals. Most people don't even have goals. So if you're somebody right now that's just embarking on that journey of starting to take control over your future and setting goals, you're already in a small percentage of people that actually even make the effort to write goals down in the first place. So you're on the right track. So give yourself some encouragement for that. And essentially, so now what have you got? You've got your daily goals, your affirmations, and your values. As a little bonus on top of that, I want you to write down 3 things that you're grateful for every day. You'll be amazed. You do this for 21 days scientifically. Watch how your perspective changes alone. Because when you, especially in times like these, when we have things like the virus and all this kind of thing going on over the world, you start to realize the important things. It was right under our nose in the first place. You know, how many people right now where you'd normally, let's say, see some family members, but you never make the time for, and you've not seen them for, let's say, 8 weeks, you realize, well, I can't even do that now because I'm in lockdown and I can only see them virtually. How much now do you more appreciate the more important things in life? So I think this has been a good wake-up call and a great time for you to reevaluate what goals was I focusing on that I thought that were important to me, and what is actually important to me. On the real level, real talk. What is really important to me that is going to make me internally happy? Start building your future around that. See how inspired you are. I think you guys and girls are going to absolutely love it. So make sure you check out the link in the description. Download those. Get stuck in. Let me know how you get on. I would love to know some feedback. And again, some detailed comments of what does the future vision look like for you? The next 5 years, 10 years, the ideal lifestyle in all areas of life. I would love to know. Guys and girls, again, thanks for tuning back into the channel. I absolutely appreciate it. Make sure that you subscribe, you like, comment, turn that notification bell on, and keep other people in the loop that other people could benefit from that. If you know a friend right now that you know that they could take action on their life and that this could help them, make sure you share it with them. Because again, by you investing in the channel, it invests back into you and others as well. Guys and girls, that's me signing out. Have an incredible end to your week, wherever you are in the world. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next episode.